start. So, again, good afternoon. And I'm not sure, is it Ms. Simon who's taking roll or Ms. Duncan? I'm not sure, but I think we're ready for a roll call.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ms. Simon.
Dr. Cynthia Gomez.
Present.
Mr. Robert Dura.
Present.
Mr. William Fulton.
Present.
Ms. Betty Haynes. Mr. Donald Scales. Ms. Beverly Williams has requested an excused absence. Ms. Sheila Williams.
Present. Did you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
And then Ms. Annette Wilson.
Present.
Thank you. I believe we can move on now. Is there any discussion to approve our minutes from last month? Otherwise, I would request that there would be a motion to approve the March minutes.
Madam Chair, so moved.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I second.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. So we can call for the approval of our March minutes.
So we're waiting for individual responses.
Yes.
Approve.
Oh, we need to do a roll call vote, Chair Villa-Gomez.
Yes.
And so Erica, that means you just go down the list of those who were present on the screen and have each of them, you just say their name and each of them will say approved or not.
Okay.
Yes. Ms. Sheila Williams.
Approve.
Dr. Cynthia Villa-Gomez.
Approve.
Mr. Robert Dura.
Approved.
Mr. William Fulton.
Approve.
Ms. Annette Wilson.
Approve.
Thank you all. So our March minutes are approved. So I will go on to the chair's report, but before pardon me for going slightly off the agenda, but I think it's so important that we recognize that AAHI recognizes the wonderful human relations and DEI office that we are directly a part of or aligned to. And so I just want to express my gratitude and my deepest respect for the work you do. And so some of us, myself and Miss Sheila Williams, we had the real great honor last Tuesday to attend our local city's, I believe that our people organized the statewide meeting, and it was just wonderful. And so thank you so much for inviting us. I learned so much and I was so inspired. But especially proud of all of you from our city, Wanda, Miss Wanda, Dr. Ronnie, and all of you. It was really just such a wonderful event. So thanks again. And then also, we had two great events. And so Miss Williams and I were also able to attend the Delta Fine Arts reception, and Councilperson Scipio was there. And so just wonderful. So thank you all. And congratulations to everybody that was recognized on Thursday. So I had a wonderful meeting on Monday. So I've been having some conversations with Michelle McCullough in our Historic Resources Commission. And a few months back, I believe that they invited us through Councilperson Scipio to co-sponsor an event called We Build This. It's an exhibition that's been circulating throughout North Carolina. I believe I might have mentioned it before, but it's a wonderful exhibition on Black architects and Black builders and Black buildings. And so it's gone to many of the cities across our state. And so our city is actually going to sponsor it. So we will be bringing the event next year. So the opening will be in February. What's wonderful, Ms. McCullough mentioned to me on Monday, that this exhibition usually costs about $2,500, but no other city has translated the information and the posters, etc., into Spanish. So our staff, someone in the city will do that, and so we will be able to get the exhibition for free. So I think that's wonderful. And again, that really aligns with what we know our HR and DEI office here locally is trying to accomplish, so we can bring in more people from the community and really have them join us in celebrating our great Black architects and builders and buildings. So what is scheduled right now, or what is planned, and of course we all and AAHI will continue to support and plan and work with the other agencies and offices that will support this event. But it will start off at Union Station, and then it will move to, I believe, the annex in the fairgrounds. And then hopefully, and Mr. Flynn from our library, he's on with us today, and nice to see you, Mr. Flynn, but we'll see if WSSU could host the exhibition possibly in our library, so we'll work on that. But hopefully we will have some nice opening events, maybe a discussion panel. So stay tuned. And so I just think this is so exciting. And I wanted to thank Councilperson Scipio for really initiating those discussions and bringing that to our attention. And I think it's great when we're really working across different agencies within the city to support one another. So that leads to my second item. One of the things that Michelle McCullough has suggested, which would be in a way to really affirm that office's new DEI commission and get some of those people involved in what we're doing. And so again, we have one person who sort of is a bridge right now between our groups. Ms. Nicole Townsend was recently appointed to the HRC's DEI commission, and she is aligned to AAHI as a WSSU intern. She's a wonderful historian, and she's a community advocate with voters' rights. And so she's one of the people that we're hoping might be able to kind of lead some community events down the line. They're suggesting a possible monthly or quarterly meeting where the WSSU interns would lead community discussion or even make presentations on their research that they're doing on behalf of AAHI. So remember that for over a year now, some of the interns have been writing storyboards for our future grand, wonderful narrative of Black contributions that our resolution has asked AAHI to do. So I know what the students have accomplished on our behalf, but it would be really wonderful for them to begin to share that with the public. Even if we don't get our actual narrative official city history up, this would be a way to connect. So of course we would have to vote on that as a committee, but we have some time. The students are getting ready, of course, to finalize things. We're almost done with our semester, but this would be something we could start planning and collaborating on over the summer. And then obviously we have all of next semester in the fall to plan for the We Build This. So of course, I'm here to support all of you, and whatever your vision might be on these kinds of collaborations, let me know, because we want all of our committee members to be involved in the projects to the full extent that they would like, and especially for these projects that are close to your heart. So I'm here for you. Reach out to me and we'll continue to have some, planning discussions. Now let me get to the interns. We have a few of our great interns that are getting ready to graduate. But most of them really want to stay in touch and stay involved with AAHI. So no matter where they might move, they would like to come back and just be a part of supporting what we do. And so two of them, Mr. Joshua Ernest and Miss Kristen McNeil, have done all different kinds of projects on our behalf. But yesterday they gave presentations publicly. So Winston-Salem State had a scholarship day, and they presented their research from last year when we were all very focused on redlining. And they were a great success. Everybody was impressed with their work. And they could probably present again for us at some point if we want to revisit our community discussions on redlining. But we have some upcoming new historians in our program, and they'll be around all fall. And they're interested in things like our local Black churches, women's groups, and the role of women in local civil rights. And so the interns are here for you as well. And so if you would like them to help you with anything, again, I would be the contact person, but I would arrange that. They will actually be helping us for our Union Station reception for the Delta authors that's coming up on April 15th. And Ms. Wanda Allen Abraha will give us some updates on that a little later. But I will have interns there to meet with people from the community and get them scheduled to give us oral histories. And so I'm not sure if it will be Mr. Flynn and I or folks from the city, but we will go ahead and arrange to take those oral histories. Last thing is just updates on our special research projects this year. One was on our founder, Simon Green Atkins for Winston-Salem State, and then the Reverend Dr. Kevin R. Williams. So we're continuing our research, and that's just been very exciting, using evidence from the WSSU archive and other research materials. We hope to get the narrative for the Kara Williams civil rights application completed. It only needs to be 3 pages, rather than before they were always looking for a much longer narrative. But that will be done so we can get that submitted for the next round of applications. And then lastly, in July, we will be submitting an article, Mr. Flynn and I, along with Ms. Linda Dark, to the National Council of Public History's working group, one of their working groups. And this will really bring visibility to AAHI. The article will focus on the various groups that have really highlighted Black local history and how we will be working, continuing to work together to really support as many groups' efforts as possible, using evidence that's already been collected and then sharing evidence, down the line and working together as partners. So those are all of my updates. Thank you. So I believe we can move to our director's updates. Miss Wanda, if you're ready.
Thank you, Chair Villa-Gomez, and good afternoon, everyone. It is so good to see everyone today, and just wanted to mention a couple of brief things to you. Actually, our very esteemed chair has already done so, but just wanted to circle back and say that we did greatly appreciate seeing Dr. Cynthia Villa-Gomez and Ms. Sheila Williams at the Women's History Month program that was held at Delta Arts. We were very happy to partner with the Winston-Salem alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, as well as Delta Arts, to actually host and work together on this inaugural program. We had a full house, and we were thrilled to have Mayor Alan Joines and Councilmember Annette Scipio there. And Councilmember Scipio was our special speaker there. And she welcomed everyone, of course, you know, to the East Ward. And we just had a really nice time. And so we had some really great women there to honor. We had 6 trailblazers, 6 Twin City trailblazers. And I have to shout Erica Simon out for coming up with that name for the trailblazers. I thought it was a really cute name. And also for our female firsts, we did have 12. And for the female firsts, the way that was defined for the purposes of our program was any female who headed a city department after that particular department had only been headed by men prior to her hire. And so, again, there were 12 that we identified as fitting that criteria. And we had a few of them who were there because actually some still work for the city. And some people found that hard to believe. It's like, really? There's a female first who's still like current, like, you know, this is still happening so recently? And yes, the answer is yes. And so, of course, we had some that were promoted to those positions long ago. So we ran the whole gamut. But again, it was just good to recognize and celebrate the accomplishments and the contributions of local women, and the barrier breakers and the glass ceiling breakers and all of that. And so, again, we were just really thrilled to do it. And Councilmember Scipio, I see that your hand is up. Did you want to say anything about the program or anything else that's on your mind?
I'll wait until after your report. I just.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. And so that was the report on the Women's History Month program. And the Delta Authors Tour, actually Chair Villa-Gomez touched on the reception already that will be held on April the 14th at Union Station. And AAHI is co-sponsoring. You all voted to co-sponsor that. And so again, this is an invitation-only event. So it is not open to the general public. But of course, with AAHI being a co-sponsor of the event, everyone on AAHI is encouraged to attend. And this will be something that is very special to the city of Winston-Salem, because Winston-Salem was only one of about, I think, 6 or 7 cities nationwide that was selected as a site to host these authors. And so it's a really good thing to be amongst the ones who were selected. And the city is happy to be a part of it through our department. And so hopefully this would be a good opportunity to even be on site to potentially collect some oral histories, depending on who's there and what's being discussed. But again, just wanted to mention those 2 things. One that is already, of course, passed, and this other one that's coming up just next week on Friday. And that's pretty much it for my report, Chair Villa-Gomez.
Thank
And
you.
so, I'm sorry, Councilmember Scipio, I think you wanted to say something at this point, right?
Yes, thank you,
You're welcome.
Director Wanda. I had just a couple of questions to Dr. Villagomez and also for Director AAHI. First of all, I think that your report, Dr. Villagomez, about the interns and their research is really amazing. Were their presentations recorded? And if they were, could they be uploaded to our AAHI database? That's the kind of stuff that needs to be in the database for people to see. If they weren't recorded, then I would love to have them become recorded, as if they could present it to me perhaps in our studio and we can record it, because since it's related to AAHI. I think that would be great if that could happen. So do you know whether they were recorded or not?
Unfortunately, they were not, but I think we could see yesterday as kind of a nice dress rehearsal.
Thank you.
And I think they would both love to, they were really on. Of course, they were very nervous at first, but they just came alive and they did very well. And we had Dr. Russell Smith in the room with us, and he is actually an international expert on redlining. And he was so impressed. He said, well, you both need to go and get a master's in urban planning as urban geographers. You know, they also really made sure that everyone knew that their work was related to AAHI. So it was great. I was very proud of them. I know they would love to be able to come down and be recorded. So we'll work on that for sure.
So I'll work with you and perhaps our marketing department to get that scheduled before they graduate and move on, because that's the kind of thing that we really need to document and put in our digital database. The other question I had was the Women's History Project that was done at Delta Arts. I know it was not recorded, but that also we should get those ladies' bios and their photos and any kind of documentation of that program to upload. But the women should be recognized again, and that's part of what that database is, documenting who's done what in this. Right now, 2023 is the history for 50 years from now. So we have to be diligent about recording it. So that would be a legacy. And there was also another event that at Salem Lake, the community room was named after Dr. Virginia Newell. And that event should also be uploaded into AAHI. It was a city event, so we really need to work with marketing to see if we can get something uploaded to document that particular activity as well. We can't miss these moments that are right now because they will just go away. And I don't know, I'm just gonna have two other things to mention. I don't know if you looked at the news this morning. Greensboro is hosting a community scanning event. They are trying to apply for historic designation for their African-American neighborhood. And they are hosting scanning events, taking oral histories, etc., and putting it into a digital database. So that's what we're supposed to do. And I want to encourage us to really look at what our mission of establishing AAHI was, to start collecting the history of African-American life in Winston-Salem. So though there are many things that are happening that we're doing, let us not forget our real focus and start being intentional about getting those histories. Too many people are continuing to transition, and we're missing some valuable information from people who are currently living, but they're in their 90s, they're 95, 96, they actually lived it. And so let's try to get back on target and have some opportunities to interview people and get those pictures, and make our database really a phenomenal database. And I just want to mention too that I think you're one of the only commissions in the city that has not returned to in-person. And I would love for you to discuss in-person meetings again, and or another time for the meeting, whether 2:00 is a good time. I do know that Donald Scales will never be able to make this meeting because he drives a school bus. And so I think we need to have some serious discussions about what's the best time for this committee to meet, and whether you want to meet in person, continue to have Zooms, or do some type of hybrid. So I just wanted to make those comments. Thank you so much.
I believe Ms. Haynes has a comment. Ms. Haynes? Ms. Betty, do you have a comment? I see your hand is up.
Maybe she can't hear us.
Councilperson Scipio, thank you for your comments. I had been thinking a lot about the oral histories and that part of our mission over the weekend. And we do have a nice update. So we received an invitation to interview a 93-year-old lady in our community, Miss Naomi. Miss Wanda, what was her last name?
Joe, would be Joe.
Yes.
Is it
Yes.
Joe?
Thank you, Mr. Fulton.
Wonderful.
Yes. So some of the people close to her let us know that there is now the senior services building is named after her, and she wants to give her histories to us. So I called Mr. Ike Black, who is the gentleman who's going to be arranging those meetings. So if anyone would like to join me, I think we should remember the best practice of really just meeting our elders first and making sure they feel comfortable with us, and not rushing them, and then going back a few times so that they can share all the different histories that they want to share. So we're moving forward with that, and I may also get some of our students to help with that. But I'm really excited that we'll get to meet her. I also had a wonderful experience on Friday. I went out to Oddfellows, and I took our 2 graduating seniors for a sort of field trip there, and had the real honor of meeting Mr. Jimmy, who's of course the president of Oddfellows, as well as the cemetery. And I would like to go back and formally interview him, but I asked him if there was anything that he wanted to teach us and share. And so he told us a story that was so similar to something that Councilperson Scipio had taught me a while back. And that was just the stories about how everybody in the Black neighborhoods would watch the children. And so even when there were no phones, when you got home, if you had been naughty and somebody saw it, your mom and grandma would be there waiting. And it was just so funny when he told that story. But the other thing he mentioned was just so touching to me. He said, and he's 83, that when you were a child in those days, whoever was, wherever the house was that all the kids in the neighborhood were playing that day, then when it was time for dinner, the parents and grandparents would feed all those children. And then maybe the next day, everybody would be at your house. And so those parents would feed, that family would feed all the children, and just how everybody shared and took care of one another. And it was just such a touching story. He told it with such love. And also how Mr. Black had hired him, and paid him a quarter for helping him one day with the bricks. And so I was just so touched, but I think we have to start being much more assertive and getting out into the community and really recording these treasures. So I'm with you, Councilperson Scipio, on that, and I'm available to help with that in any way. In the issue of returning to face-to-face, I think that would be great. I would maybe we could think about that for since we're kind of moving into the summer and we only have a few more meetings before we break for the summer. Should we explore that possibly next month and think about returning in either August or September face to face? So I think we definitely need to have that discussion. But I also think maybe we can wait a few months and put that off but make that a priority to discuss and plan for the fall or late summer. Well, thank you again, Ms. Wanda and Councilperson Scipio. I know we need to move on. Do we have staff reports? Ms. Wanda, does your staff have anything to share with us?
Thank you, Chair Villagomez. I do know that we have Mr. Frank Elliott, who is the Director of Marketing and Communications on, and we also have Ms. Jacqueline Phillips-Hayes on from IS. So I would just defer to them if they have anything that they would like to share or comment on.
I'll go first. Just wanted to, I think we've talked about this before, but the subject is Juneteenth. Assuming you're all planning on being there and recording oral histories, we are prepared to support that with our monthly ad in the Chronicle. It's in the For Seniors Only section, which I think is a good place for it. So just keep us posted on what your plans are, and we'll make sure we help spread the word. Of course, we'll put a news release about it, promote it on our social too.
Thank you. I believe Ms. Wilson has her hand up.
Yes, I had a question going back to the report that Ms. Wanda gave. You mentioned that there was a reception we were invited to, and I don't know whether I missed it, or are we supposed to RSVP, or is it related to the Delta Authors Tour?
Yes, Ms. Annette, sorry about that. Thank you for asking for the clarification, but it is related to the Authors Tour, the Delta Authors Tour. And this is a reception that will be held at Union Station. And I will make sure that we get the information to you all so that you could attend if you'd like. But definitely it would be good to RSVP ahead of time. And it would be good enough just to send an email back saying that you plan to attend. And that's pretty much it with that.
Okay, because somewhere along the way I missed that, and you said it's the 14th, which is that Friday night.
Yes,
Friday
ma'am.
evening? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. It is the 14th, and the time, Erica, do you recall the time? I don't want to say the wrong thing.
It is from 6 to 7, I believe, but I will clarify that for you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I think it's at 6 o'clock too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're welcome.
And I believe their discussion is actually the next day. Am I correct on that? I think I saw an original
Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah. From 11 to 1, I believe.
That is correct.
At Winston-Salem
On
State.
campus.
At Winston-Salem State. Is it at the Anderson Center?
No,
I believe the Reeves.
It's at
the
the
Reeves
Center.
Center.
Yeah. Ms. Haynes, did you have a comment or question?
I'm not sure if she can hear us.
Are you saying Hayes?
Haynes.
Betty Haynes.
Oh, okay. Making sure it wasn't me I was missing.
Could one of the staff call her and see if she can hear us? I think she's not hearing us. She's not responding.
I was texting her now,
Oh,
but I don't know that she's looking at her phone, so maybe somebody could call, or I can call her.
I'll do it. I got it.
And in the meantime, Chair Villagomez, I believe Mr. Elliott had completed his update. Is that correct, Frank?
That
Are
is
we good?
correct. Yep.
Okay, thanks. And so now, if Ms. Jacqueline Phillips Hayes has an update or any comments on behalf of the IS department, she is on too.
Well, and we're always here to support AAHI and its efforts with IS. Currently, we don't have any, I guess, work efforts for us that we're working on. However, the digital archive that we set up through, well, of course, in conjunction with the North Carolina digital libraries, is still functioning and active. We've not had any complaints about it not working or things not getting uploaded properly. So just keep us in mind if you have any of those issues so that we can help resolve any issues you have, and let us know if there's anything else we can do to support AAHI. That was all for me.
Thanks, Jackie. Thank you. And Chair Villagomez, I think that's it for the city staff updates.
Thank you. I did want to respond to Mr. Elliott and say that, yes, I believe that we should definitely have a presence at Juneteenth. Last year, we had a wonderful time. Miss Annette Wilson and Miss Beverly Williams and I, and they did a wonderful job of kind of circulating and really reaching out to people and asking people to share their histories with us. And we had our own room and we had an intern from the city who helped with the recording. And so it is a great time for us to just be out there and meet people and share what AAHI is all about. So I definitely would like to be there. And so we'll continue to work on that and organize, but it's a lot of fun. So I hope more people from our committee would think about joining us. Are there any other little stories to tell? Any last questions or comments or suggestions before we adjourn for today? I do have the date for our next meeting. So our next meeting would be Wednesday, May 3rd at 2 p.m. if that is the time we're going to stick with for now. So Wednesday, May 3rd is when we'll come together again.
Is it at 2 o'clock?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So any final thoughts or little stories or suggestions? Or Miss Annette Wilson, I meant to ask how the historic markers are coming along. I know that you had a great event a couple months ago and there were a lot of people from the community. Are there going to be any upcoming markers put up at our local level anytime soon that you know about?
I have not received any additional information. I know we approved, I think it was 2, but I have not received any information about when they will be installed.
Well, I guess we'll keep that on the back burner because those, I think, will continue to be great events for us to just be out there and meeting people and setting up equipment if we can get any oral histories. So thanks for that update. I appreciate it. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much. We have all kinds of exciting things planned, and I feel like the momentum is we're picking up a momentum, and we're getting out there more. We're seeing one another. So I hope to see everyone on the 14th. It's going to be exciting to be at that reception, and so we'll keep moving forward. And you know how to reach me. So please, if there's anything that I can help you to do with your subcommittee work, please reach out, because I'm here for you 1,000%. I want to help you with whatever projects. You obviously don't need my permission or our permission, but if you want to move forward and with something related to your subcommittee, then we are here for you. So even if you want to brainstorm and think about potential ways to get people from the community together for whatever you are assigned in terms of your subcommittee, just let me know. And so thank you, everyone. So we will call our meeting to an end. Take good care, everybody. Thanks again.
Thank you.